All right. I don't know. I'd like to wait to see at least we get a few people on here.
Nobody's coming.
Yeah, come on.
You
It's
know
been
them?
a long time
Got
since
3
the
Hall of
National
Famers on here. Who?
Let's be honest. Two real Hall of Famers. I'm sort of like a, second class.
I think you were third class.
That's right.
You're the Harold Baines of the Hall of Fame. Bob?
I am the Harold Baines of the Hall of Fame.
Oh, poor Harold Baines, man. Poor Bob Lewis.
I know. Harold freaking Baines.
But I got Satchel Paige and Hank Aaron below, so that makes up for it.
There you go.
Who's who?
All right, we
I
got
know.
one. Huh?
I
Can't figure out who
I,
Satchel and who's Hank.
I asked before I thought about it for a second. Yes.
Satchel was an artist on the mound, so that makes sense.
There you go. And you like the Braves. That's about all you have in common with Hank Aaron.
That's true.
Satchel's not a name you hear much these days. I might have to bring that back.
Yeah.
Satchel Lewis.
Satchmo.
Satchel.
Satchmo Lewis.
I like that. What do you see on here? How many people are on here? Jake, you're an expert on this.
I think
You have to probably go to YouTube, right? You have to have the live stream on YouTube pulled up.
Yeah, I don't think you can see it on StreamYard.
I can see the chat. We got two
Same.
of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Here for the hot dogs and pizza, like Bob Lewis, baby.
I titled it. So I know Scott has them. Yeah.
My store's out. I went to look.
What?
Really?
Yes. I ate on mine before the stream, so sorry.
Well, I told Scott, I brought him down to the basement where the room was, and I couldn't find him anywhere. And I went up to my wife, like, Amy, did you see the Twizzlers? She's like, yeah, I hid them in the closet so you wouldn't eat them. I'm like, they're a prop. Eat those. Come on.
She knows you.
She does. She hides my snacks all the time.
I was
Dude,
hoping
I talk about snacks. I was at the gas station about an hour ago, and I saw a new candy bar, Milky Way, but it's instead of like the nougat, I guess it's cookie dough. I haven't tried it yet. We could do a live taste test. I got it in the fridge right there.
Yeah, you got to get it.
We'll see how it does. Man, it sounds good. It's checking a lot of boxes for sure.
That does sound good.
What boxes?
I mean, would it be a ride with Bob Lewis if there weren't snacks? I mean,
No, let's be honest.
would it be a ride? Oh,
We got 8 people on here, so that's enough. So basically, this is the group that rode out with me to the National, Bob and Jake and Scott. So Jake flew into Pittsburgh, and I didn't want to be inconvenienced picking him up, so I inconvenienced Scott to pick him up from Cleveland, going down to the airport.
Yep, it was right next door.
And
yeah.
then we went to Satchmo Lewis's house. Met up there. Hit the road. How many stops do you think we made on the way out there for Bob? I think I only needed gas once, but
Yeah, there was at least 6 pee breaks for sure. I have the bladder of like a 4-year-old child. And
an
I
appetite
like to
like
do
a
other things.
4-year-old too. The
Hey,
first
prostate
stop,
cancer runs in my family, dude. It's not a
the
joke.
first stop when I bought the baseball cards that they had there.
Think so.
Yeah.
What'd you say about baseball cards?
He bought baseball cards at the first stop.
That's right. Series, I forget what I think it was just Topps Series 1.
The
maybe
first rest stop, I bought 4 packs.
that's kind of I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen like packs at a gas station. You know, I mean, you see them at Target and Walmart and stuff, but It's been a long time since I saw packs at a like a gas station. So I had to buy them.
Yeah, I don't think you had to buy them. I bought them.
Oh, that's what I meant. I opened them.
Next, is going to say he drove too. I mean, what the heck?
Yeah. He picked me up at the airport.
Took you in.
So basically, this trip wouldn't be squat without me.
More or less.
He did squat a lot. Jake, tell him about the Bob story when he went in the bathroom looking for.
Oh my gosh.
What was he looking for? Hot dog, right?
Yeah. So that was the same stop where you bought the baseball cards. We were stopping for lunch, and it had like a convenience store in it too, or whatever. And we had already eaten lunch, and everybody was like using the bathroom, whatever, doing what they needed to do while we stopped. And while Don had went to get the baseball cards, and Bob Lewis had already bought a handful of snacks and eaten them after lunch. We're standing there waiting on him to come back in from getting something from the car or something. And he comes back in and he goes, "Hey, Don, I had a question." And he's like, "What, Bob?" And he's like, "Can I get a hot dog? Do you care if I get a hot dog, like, to go?" And Don's like, I don't care, man. Like, just, yeah. And instead of going towards the convenience store and like the restaurant area where all the food is, Bob goes into the bathroom. And we're like, what? And Scott and Don and I are standing there and we're like, what is he doing? Like, he knows we're waiting on him. And he comes out of the bathroom and he's like, "Hey guys, I went in there and I asked them about hot dogs and they just looked at me really weird. I don't know. Do you guys know where the hot dogs are?" And we're like, this guy. Oh my gosh. And
You guys never been on a road trip with me.
he goes where the food is. He gets his hot dog, and we finally leave the convenience store. But yeah, Bob Lewis is known to ask about hot dogs in a men's restroom.
Well, you should have seen the looks I got in the bathroom.
Yeah, what were those looks?
I mean, eating a gas station hot dog is one thing, but eating a bathroom gas station bathroom hot dog, whole new ball game. You never know what.
These weren't truly gas stations. I mean, they were more like rest stops that also
Service
had gas.
centers. Service stations.
Yeah, it was like Bob's Corner gas station or something.
It's true.
But
quality of hot dog doesn't really increase with the size of the service station. It's true.
no, and at the time I was on a diet, so Scott had to bring all this candy. That's why we were showing the Twizzlers. And Bob is sitting next to me in the front seat. We're kind of in the order of how we were in the car. I was driving, Bob was in the front, and the two bearded wonders were in the back.
I think we need to clarify. These ain't just your normal Twizzlers. Like these are pull and peel, which is like upper echelon.
Cherry.
Right. Yep.
The cherry.
Awesome and honor. There we go. That's what I'm eating as we go on here.
One Twizzler for at least 6 minutes, just peeling one at a time.
Well, going back to my diet, Bob just ate next to me the whole ride. Twizzlers, pizza. I don't know what else you ate.
Hot dog.
I'm sure I had ice cream. I know you were looking for it.
I'm more of a oh yeah, I definitely had ice cream. I think I brought that with me in my pocket actually.
No, that was the same. That was the same
milkshake. It was a milkshake by the time I got to Carlisle, but anyways. Yeah, I remember. So I didn't sleep that much the night before. Didn't I have a carton? I think I smoked a pack at a time. Yeah, I didn't sleep much the night before, so I definitely was a little loopy, I think. But that's when you get the best of Bob Lewis. So loopy Bob is better than non-loopy Bob. What's up, Double D? Yeah, dudes.
Dylan, right? Here. I got Eddie on here.
Hey. Yeah, you gotta pay. You gotta give the commenters their due, acknowledgement.
I'm on it. Legends of the dugout. What's going on, man?
So
Dylan
this trip was the first time I met each of you in person. And that was kind of funny from the standpoint of when I met Scott, Don had told me like, hey, don't think he doesn't like you if he's really quiet. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to like carry the conversation here and, I'll just talk, but not too much kind of deal. And like one of the first things that Scott says to me other than, hey, yeah, okay, was, do you want to see George Diamond Yard Sports Cards art that I made him? So I was the first person that got to see it other than Scott. And so he had me get the box out and I opened it. You saw it, Don?
That's not true. Not in person, but
not when it was done.
Okay. In person, I was the first to see it.
It was darn close.
Yeah. But I opened it and like, it's the first time I had held anything that Scott had done that wasn't like a sketch that he had done for me. And I was just blown away. And so I just complimented him the rest of the ride. So he'd give me a ride to Don's house.
I do like compliments.
Yes. So that went well. And then we get to Don's house. And I knew I wasn't very tall, but Don was even taller than I thought he would be. So I gave him a hug, like around his kneecaps. Nice to meet you, man. All that good stuff. And he's like, all right, we got to ride over to Bob's.
There's Bob's dog like nipping at me.
Yeah. And he's like, all right, we got to ride over to Bob's house. It's not far from my house. Okay, cool. So we get in the car, we ride over to Bob's. And Bob's exactly what I expected him to be from his videos. Very like all over the place, haphazard. He probably went in and out of his house to get his stuff before he left like 17 times. Like, oh, I forgot this snack. I forgot this.
I don't think you met at my house, though.
What?
I thought I met you two over at Bob's.
Yeah, we went straight from the airport to Bob's.
You're right. You were just outside at Bob's. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bob went in and out of his house like a million times before we could finally leave.
He was the same way doing that Hall of Fame video that I shot for him. I was like, let's go, Bob. Like, I have all day here, man.
He told you to vote for James, and then he didn't vote for James.
Hey, I'll be right back, guys. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No problem. Oh, he didn't vote for one of his Misfit buddies. Well, it was either him or Lou, and I had the Clemente Museum for Lou, and there really wasn't anything Yankee-wise in Pittsburgh to use for Jake. Or, James. So I thought that'd be a good one. But when I did yours, Scott, I drove over that bridge. You're familiar with that bridge, right, Scott?
Mm-hmm.
That goes into Homestead?
Yep.
So on one side is all flags of the Homestead Grays, and the other side is the Pittsburgh Crawford. So I drove over it, and I said, oh, Satch was only 4 flags down. That's not bad. I started walking on that bridge. I was like, what am I doing? I'm like scared as hell up here, looking down at the river. And then there's this guy walking behind me, and I just stopped until he passed me. I'm like, I don't trust this guy. He's going to push me off the bridge. Cars are whipping by me. I mean, there's a walkway. It wasn't like I was right next to the cars, but I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done. And it's for Scott, of all people.
Well, I appreciate you risking your life for me.
I did. I really did. My wife is like, what is wrong with you? Why did you do that? I'm like, it seemed like a good idea at the time, the famous saying. But what are they saying here? I'm going to be a good kneecap. Yeah, Dylan, who's taller, you or Jake? You guys can post each other up.
I don't know. We're going to have to find out like a year from now. I won't be at the National this year.
Are you going to go to the one in Cleveland?
I hope to. Do you
fly to Pittsburgh again? We'll drive up. It's only a 2-hour drive though, so we won't have as much material.
It's true. Do you, Don? Do you still have the present I gave you on this car ride?
Oh, yeah. I don't know where
You do? Yes.
but I don't know where they are. But I'll get
man.
another pair just to use as an example.
I think for Cleveland, Don should drive down to you, Jake, and you drive up from there.
You're right. I like that plan. That would make sense. We get more out of it that way.
Yeah. Maybe I'll join you for that.
Yes. You guys need to fly to North Carolina and we'll drive. For those out there that don't know, I flew out of my way to Pittsburgh just so I could ride with these guys, to spend more time with them and meet more YouTubers. Because I was staying with a different group at the National, but I wanted to spend as much time with as many people as I could. And on the car ride, one of the first things we did, Scott, as cameraman, I gave Don this gift he's about to show you guys.
Yeah, so this is not the exact one you gave me because I don't know where it is at the moment. But so this is just an example, some pliers. So I forget, did you have it wrapped in something or?
No, I think I just handed you the package.
Yeah, you were
What
just
it was
like,
in.
this is, I got this gift for you for driving me out, let me stay at your house. I'm all excited. And I got a wrench.
Yeah.
I don't even have a wrench on the side here. It's not as those wrenches, but I kind of forgot about that, Jake, until you just mentioned it. When you're like, you remember what I gave you? And I was like, I'm gonna have to. I definitely will put that in my YouTube section when I get this room finished.
Well, based on your background back there, you haven't been using them.
Using them?
Yeah.
Well, what's wrong with my background?
You gotta snap them graded cards out of there, man. That's why I got it for you. Come on.
Here you go, Jake, just for you.
Hey, that looks great.
And there's one for both of you.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
You have that one, Scott?
I don't.
I'm not sending it to you.
Okay. Man.
Hey, maybe he'll show us the card that he's never shown anybody else before ever.
You mean the one I just got?
Oh, that's cool.
It's got the stats on the back.
Yeah, 47 to 66 exhibits. Those are cool.
Yeah, it says 62 on it. You wouldn't be talking about this, would you?
I've never seen that card before. Have you seen that?
I thought I'd show
Yeah,
it.
actually,
Scott's never seen it.
right.
Scott's never seen it in his house. I'll bring it up to the National so we can say it was in your house.
Okay. Deal.
So are we all staying at your house? Have you proved that with the wife? Like 20 of us crashing at
Yeah, I'm sure that's fine.
Dude, I want to stay in Milo's clubhouse.
There you go.
That thing is quite impressive.
Awesome.
So he doesn't use it anymore. So we've been trying to figure out what we're going to do with it.
What's this? Dylan, do you go for free to the National if you're hugging knees? I'm not going to touch that one.
Yeah, let's skip over that.
Got Ziggy in the house.
Scott, are you going to the National this year?
Yes.
And you, Don?
Yes. So
I'll be in Australia.
Australia?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh, Bob's waving to get back in.
Hey, Bob.
How long were you down there, Bob?
Only about 10 seconds this time.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, I can deal with
See
that.
this guy down there like, hey.
I mean, I know you guys need me back in the chat because it was probably, I apologize to the viewing audience for the last 3 or 4 minutes. It's probably pretty lame.
Yeah, we were struggling.
No, we were good. Scott took over. He went in Bob Lewis mode, and we were good.
Scott took over?
Yeah.
I missed it?
Absolutely. Well, you can rewind and watch this later.
You know what I thought was the funniest? I know it wasn't part of the trip, but like the pairing of Scott and Eric. Scott, we know his dialogue output, and Eric, if you know Eric, Four Leaf Cards, his dialogue output couldn't be further from each other. So it was just like
Yin and yang.
it was like it was Penn and Teller type of thing.
Yeah, it's a very nice balance.
Yeah, that's right. And then even when you do ask for Scott's input, it's very much to the point. One word is what I mean. One word.
That's it. That's all you got. Bob, what was your favorite? What was your favorite thing from the car ride, Bob?
Oh, well, it was probably something that didn't happen. I was gonna, I had been thinking about all the things that we do on our family car rides. Like guess the Disney character. It's basically a 20 question format, yes or no questions. Then we have to guess who the Disney character was. Well, I was gonna flip it to like, baseball people. But then I thought ahead of like, I don't really know a lot about people in baseball. I just collect the cards, so I would probably really suck at that game, so I didn't suggest it. But I thought about it a lot.
In between bites.
Right.
Gotcha.
No, I think my favorite part was not driving.
Ah,
Yes. Yeah.
I
enjoy
never
making
stopped
you guys
all week.
laugh, and it's not like I get a dopamine release from like being an idiot and making my fellow Hall of Famers, except for one, laugh.
you did do that a lot.
Dawn, are you frozen?
No, I was
There
in
you
sorry. I'll move.
What
Did a pretty good
what about-
acting job though.
Don's a slow reader. That's what it is.
Sound it out, Dawn.
I can't even read these. I'm just clicking on them. It's like a coloring book.
Burley
about-
Cardboard.
what about
That's
you,
an
Why?
interesting- Burley Cardboard. I haven't heard of that channel name. It's going very well, Burley. If that is your real name.
I'm not familiar with Burley either. Do you have a channel, Burley? You guys
Well,
know?
he's got the 52 mantle. He's got to be legit. If he's got the 52 mantle as his thumbnail, I mean.
And he's watching us. So that means he has good taste.
Well, that's actually a knock in the con column, but okay.
Well, because you're on here.
Basically.
Scott, what was your favorite thing on the ride?
My favorite thing? That's a good question. Like, I enjoyed not getting sick.
Yes.
Little do you know, I enjoyed that part of it too.
Yeah.
I was
So
gonna
on the
say,
way up,
since
before
I
we
was sitting
made
in
that
front
first
of you, I'm
stop,
glad you didn't.
before we made that first stop, I was like really nauseous for some reason. And we stopped and got some air, and I was fine the rest of the way.
Nice.
And then,
I tend to bring the nausea out of people.
yep.
True.
And then coming back, I didn't get the COVID.
Mm.
Scott,
Right.
do you happen to remember
Jake did,
something
right?
that happened right as you were leaving my house?
I do. That was one of my favorite parts.
I was like, did that just happen? Okay.
So I got back in my
Come on,
car.
Scott.
I haven't driven for a week, and I just backed into a telephone pole. It was pretty
I sort
awesome.
of did the like, all right, see you, Scott. Turn and like sort of walk into the house, and I just hear, boom. No. I mean, there's only one telephone pole on my street. And we hit it.
It came out of
Scott
nowhere.
has good aim.
Right.
My favorite part of that is I hadn't driven in a week. Like he forgot how to drive in a week's time.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty much the same excuse I would have used. So I applaud that.
I have to practice. you know,
Did
What
you
about
do any
you, Don?
damage to your car?
I scratched the paint a little bit. It wasn't a big deal,
Telephone pole's still standing too, so.
That's good.
but it's good.
No. What are you eating, Bob?
Cereal.
Honey barbecue Frito twists.
Oh, this is great.
So good. So good. It's really funny when you give a 1-year-old baby them too, and they're just like, ah.
Have you tried that one yet, Jake?
Those are good. I like those. I have not given any to Luca
No,
though.
I meant for your.
Well, that's your first kid. So I didn't give my first kid any of those. But third kid, let's see what happens.
Don, what was your favorite thing from the ride?
Oh, it just had to be Bob in general. I can't think of one. I can't think of one specific thing. But
I
I
do
think
feel
we
like
just
it was
laughed
fast,
the whole
though,
way
right?
up, the whole way back.
I feel like we
Huh?
all sort of just were having a good time, and I feel like it went by real quick. I don't feel like it was like a drive across the state of Pennsylvania, you know?
That was super fast.
Right.
Yeah.
And like Scott said, I'm striking while the iron's hot. So we remember all this 7 months later. Perfect timing to talk about this. That's
Right.
how I roll.
Outside
this
of
would have been much better a week
This is
after
probably
we
my
did it.
first availability after the national to actually talk about
True.
it. So this works out perfect.
it's your first video, right?
That's right. That's right. My video production has been sorry, but that's okay.
You were on my video the other day. That counts, right?
That does count, and I got some good texts from that too.
Did you?
Mainly about me, but less about you. But that's okay.
Well, that's all right.
See, I wonder, like Burley Cardboard, if he's new and he's experiencing Bob Lewis for the first time, he probably is like, this dude is a jerk. But it's kind of my thing.
He's getting the
Burley
real
Cardboard.
you, though.
That's right. That's right. This is definitely the real me.
So, Jake, what was your favorite part?
Thanks, Scott. I appreciate you asking me, man.
Did you just text him? Hey,
I
ask
picked
him.
that up.
So, other than laughing so much, literally till I would cry, joking around with these guys, the thing that sticks out to me is Don was talking about the Misfits text group and how they give him such a hard time for being on live streams all the time. And that is where the nickname Donnie Livestream was born.
Donnie Livestream.
I gave him the nickname on that ride, and it has stuck because I keep saying it and commenting it every chance I get.
Yes, you do.
I mean, look at it. He's in his element right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he is
know.
driving this train.
But this is probably like my third live stream since then.
Today?
I think all the other Misfits, except for Bob, have passed me up on live streams.
No, I'm definitely the low rung of the Misfits for sure. I feel like it was just like, okay, he's got to stay with us. We got to sort of like invite him into the Misfits. Everybody okay with that? Okay. Well, he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, he's got over 500 subs. He's probably, somewhat likable. So we'll invite him in. But when do we?
That's pretty accurate, Bob.
Yeah, believe me. Are you guys accepting new applications?
Well, one guy we were about to put in, and then he started throwing balls in my face. How can I vote
Yeah,
this
that was me.
clown in?
That was me.
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad thing to have the commish in the group.
I mean,
But
I
then we got to
don't.
start a whole new thread. We got to add some. That's like it takes like.
He keeps sending his application in, which is fine, but we never see the application fee part sent in with it.
We don't
So that's
accept
been holding it
baseball. We don't accept baseball collector referrals or recommendations either. So
I messed that up. When the thing I forgot to put on my resume that I actually learned on this car trip was that Bob Lewis, instead of watching 1 out of every dozen of my videos, he watches 1 out of every like 7. I should have put that on there.
That's a pretty good average. Yeah. Way to go, Bill. I like. Well put. Well put.
Here, James is commenting to you there.
My hair is not long enough to do the stripe of hair down here, down my center of my face.
Sorry, James. I was trying to get votes from the 6 other guys. I'm desperate. I'm trying everything.
You knew he wasn't dunking over me or Bob, so.
That's true.
Dude, how about James? First ballot, first eligibility, first ballot, just phenomenal.
I think wasn't all the first ballot.
Technically, no,
We
Didn't
couldn't
you
vote for
read
Scott
the,
last year.
because when Jake changed the rules, like I was eligible the year before that.
He
but then
received
not last year.
He received votes before I changed the rules. So technically him and Jim and Lou
so that
were
means-
technically not under my rule.
So James is better.
technically, James sucked. So James sucked for the first couple of years, and no one voted for him.
Oh, okay.
I see. Got it. That makes more sense now. Okay, now I understand.
how have we been going for a half hour already? I don't feel like we talked about anything.
I mean, it's
We're
not
doing
right.
this for the length of the whole car ride, right?
Yes.
We're just recreate it.
Yeah,
Right.
this will be like what's his name? Carlos. We'll sit on here for 6 hours.
Oh, he's trimmed it down to about 4 hours now. So, however, I was a part of viewing a 7-hour live stream from Carlos. Not the full 7 hours, but
There you go, Brad. Brad's
that's
here for the
intense.
Twizzlers. Pull him up, Scott.
Congrats
Yeah.
to Brad.
Yeah, Brad's in. Brad's a fellow Ohio guy, I think. Does he live near you, Scott? Or is he on the other end?
Aren't you in Columbus, Brad? Would it be like Central Ohio?
I hear my baby
Yeah,
call
that's
me.
not that
She's telling me to go.
I'm never inviting Bob again. He's
I mean,
not
this
in
is just
business.
like the trip. I mean, pretty much. Bob just like
That is
disappears.
true.
Like,
I'm running out, leaving.
yeah, like we'd stop
He might
somewhere.
went out
Like,
for a
where's
smoke
Bob?
break.
We're gonna lose Bob.
I think it's a recording he has of his baby. Puts it on, he goes out, catches a smoke, and comes back.
Mm-hmm.
That's my theory. So what else is going on, Scott? When is your new I know you haven't technically finished your Holy Grail, or you haven't finished it yet, but are you going to
Right.
start another one? Or are you just
Um,
taking commission? It's not going to be a video thing.
I have a commission list, and I'm going to make videos out of those commissions. I want to change the format though, so I'm not doing the same phone call every time, and
Right.
make it a little easier on myself.
Am I still
No.
on that list, or
You
did the
are on that
people
list.
try and kick me off?
What was that?
Bob, I don't have an explanation. Mhm.
You're going to hear all Bob's personal life.
I tell you what, after watching like 120 something ballot videos for YouTube, I am so far behind on like my regular content watching. I have like 40 videos on my watch later.
Right. Yeah, I thought I was being all creative making that video. What
He's
happened?
carrying a kid upside down.
I'm telling you, the three of us can just sit here and watch Bob.
Oh my gosh.
We don't even have to say anything. We'll just sit here and watch Bob's screen.
Sorry you had to see that.
I think this is our
You don't
car
need to
ride,
go to
man.
that
Holy
one.
crap.
So that's third kid, right?
It had definitely third kid.
All right.
I used to juggle her, but she's a little bit bigger now.
Oh my gosh.
Brad.
The next time I do a Misfit impersonation video, I'll have to carry Luca around upside down instead of eat cereal for Bob.
Right.
So what kind of
So
cereal?
Scott, are you going to go after another card with these commissions?
Yeah, I should.
Ooh, any idea what it's going to be?
I think Don knows.
I don't know which one, but I know the player. Do you have the
Satchmo
53?
Louis?
Yeah, I have the 53.
Okay.
I know who it
Are
is
you
now.
going for the Leaf or the Bowman?
The Bowman.
Okay.
I'm not doing 40,000 commissions to get the Leaf one.
40,000 commissions.
That's a lot of commission.
Do another one for Moynihan and charge him like 10 times what you normally charge. You'll be good.
All right.
He'll do it.
He can afford it.
Do one for Chasing Cardboard. They got money.
Yeah.
I enjoy that show.
I did too.
Mhm.
Hi. Thank you.
Well, it's like a real show, like real production. It's like you could be watching that on whatever channel.
No kidding.
Next to
I mean,
my
it's
Lifetime, probably.
It's literally like
Right.
American Pickers for the hobby. It's crazy.
Isn't that kind of, I don't want to say their goal, but weren't they hoping to get it picked up by somebody?
I don't know.
I gotta wonder though, outside of us weirdos, like how many people are gonna watch the show on baseball cards?
I don't know. I mean, I heard an interesting
Nobody I
comment
know.
on nobody you know.
Outside of YouTube.
That's like B Roth was talking to Big Scott 35 on his like Let's Talk because I'm like
Yeah.
2 weeks behind.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one yet either.
Well, he said B Roth made a comment on there about like thinking about how big the hobby is, and he's like, think about how many people are at the National, and he's like, that's a fraction of the people that collect. You know, because not everybody can afford to go, and you know, not everybody's like public with their collecting like we are on YouTube. So maybe more people would watch the show than we think.
Here's how
Maybe, but
sorry
even
I
that
didn't
number-
even know there
I
was
got
a
a
national
number.
until I got on YouTube.
What?
I didn't even know there was a national until I got on YouTube. So that's how sorry of a collector I am. And Dawn, I was talking over you. I apologize.
Well,
Yeah,
my
that's
first
okay.
national was the last one in Cleveland, and I didn't know what it was. I was just like, oh, there's a big baseball card show in Cleveland. I'll go check it out. And I just went like on this last Sunday, like, whoa.
I've heard the Cleveland facility is like gargantuan,
Hmm.
but
It is
the
rather-
location of it, it's like there's not you got to drive everywhere basically. There's no like walking from place to place.
Right.
Chicago seems that was my first one in 19 Chicago. That was probably the best one to kind of just start at because it really is. Everything is right there in Rosemont and walking everywhere. People were very gracious and let me sleep on their couch or floor, whatever it was. I'm all about mooching people's paid for rooms already. So, which is what I'm doing next year or this year. I guess it already is this year.
It is currently this year.
Yes. Second month already. Wow.
Hmm.
Is everybody going? I know we kind of talked about it a little bit, but
I'm not.
not.
One of the things I'm wondering, like for me, so I've been to both, but or not both Chicago and Atlantic City is what I mean. But I didn't stay very close. I was about a mile away in Chicago, and that was a pain with Ubers and trying to get them and paying for them. And I think the convenience of Chicago is great, but I had so much more fun with our Airbnb last year, but I think you're going to miss some of that with the hotels.
So
I know there's the
actually-
get-togethers and
We've got like the plans have already come in place for. It's kind of the same deal. It's a little further away than like we were in Atlantic City, but it's like 50 minutes away but it's the price is so good that it's kind of one of these you can't really pass it up. But it'll be, you'll have your time at the show, and then you can kind of invite people back to your spot if they want. They could crash for the night or whatever it is. But it's just the place to stay. I don't know if it's really an Airbnb, and maybe it is, but it's kind of like a little house type of thing.
Who are you staying with?
Like Steve, Bronco 79. I know Dave Archer's going, Uncle Benny going. The Insert Revolution podcast gang has procured our staying arrangements. So, and that'll kind of be what? Are you trying to give me this olive? Thank you. You want it?
He's gonna eat it. You're like Mikey. Let's see if Bobby will eat it.
Just pull the dog hair off of it.
Jake doesn't know that reference.
Thank
Maybe
you.
Scott doesn't either.
I know.
But I
There's an
do
old
agree
commercial
with you,
Jake
Don. Like
heard.
that whole like the show is great. I do, but the after, the hanging out, the camaraderie is kind of where it's all at. So it'll just be a little bit further from the show this year, and I don't even think I'll notice.
Did you say 50 miles or 50 minutes?
50 minutes,
Okay.
which it's a 60
Might
mile
be
an hour
50
highway.
miles.
What? I don't know where it's at, but it's I know like Stove is in that neighborhood somewhere, so it could get
Oh,
wild.
geez.
So
Last time-
part of the reason I'm not going to the National this year is I heard, because, the last time I went to the National was 2013. And then last year, the big thing that was different as far as like the show itself and what was there were breakers, like Breaking Live. Well, I heard in 2023 for the National that the Cardboard Podcast was going live from the floor. So I'm like, I can't be there. Can't go.
No. So that's funny you say that, because once upon a time there was a chance. I think it wasn't last year; it would have been the year before. Wait a minute. Was there a national in 21?
Yes. It was in Chicago.
Okay, so that's
It
the
wasn't
one
one in
that
20.
there was. Stove and I did have an invite. I won't mention who from, but if you can think about the community at large, there might be a channel that comes to mind that supports a lot of other little channels. And it just didn't happen. We just couldn't make it happen.
I don't remember inviting you.
What?
I don't remember inviting you or Stove.
You're the big channel, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I don't know. Like that would be fun, but it seems so official. We're pretty much
Grassroots.
Yeah. We're like the guerrilla film type of people where it's just
Blair Witch.
it's not scripted. It's just kind of like thought out. Now we do plan some bits, and Mark and I do have some good stuff planned coming up. It should be pretty funny, actually.
What's your schedule? Like one show a year now?
We were thinking once a month. We were thinking once a month. Like we can
Never
do.
gonna happen.
'Cause I appreciate that vote of confidence, and you're probably right. We just put the teaser out there, and then tease people for 6 months until the national.
That's my pet peeve, by the way.
You have pet peeves? What? The teaser?
No, I put it
is
on
not good?
one of my videos because I didn't do Mike's pet peeve video.
The
But-
premiere.
The premieres, like I'll see it and I'll go to click on it to watch it, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? 48 hours to watch this sucker?" Like,
Yeah,
So I'm gonna make all my videos premieres now.
I don't watch yours anyway, so it doesn't matter.
All right.
I'm just going to start tagging Don in all my videos and make them all premieres. Just like,
Yeah.
I'll take more views than anyone in this community.
If you have more than a 24-hour like premiere set time, I can get on board with that being like, because generally, like if I'm clicking on it, it's something that I sort of want to see now. Okay, I gotta wait for it. But if I gotta wait 2 days, I mean, Bob Lewis's time is precious. I can't be waiting around 2 days for Jake to do a live stream.
I'm with you.
I think my last
No, I
premiere
would
was
wait
like
for
6
Jake.
hours in advance.
I would wait for Jake for 48 hours, but not much more than that.
It's good to know. I learned something.
So do we still have viewers?
I think they're gone. I think it's just us
Okay.
now.
It might be. But I have to go on here.
So I can start talking now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody's gone, Scott.
Oh boy. Hold on one sec.
You held your character together. You can talk now.
All right. So Don, did you finish writing my speech yet?
I did. Thank you. I wanted it to be.
That was a speech. Thank you.
I thought that would be, I don't want to put too much on Scott.
I mean, that would be pretty spot on.
I'll rehearse that.
We got 20 people watching still. I'm actually going to meet up with your Amazon, whatever that thing is. Her and I get along well. So
I noticed that.
For you. What's that?
I noticed that.
Well,
You two are like
have the same thoughts about you.
Mhm.
So.
Dude, of like any bit that anybody does on any of their videos, Alexa might be my favorite. It's so funny. I love that. It's hilarious.
No, that
she
is
needs to come
good.
around more.
I saw she did a rant about the results, but I haven't watched it yet. I try and avoid the negative videos, and I don't know if Alexa's, excited or, upset.
She's pretty upset. I can't blame
Is that a software that you're tying in, or can you get Alexa to just repeat what you say?
I tried doing it that way because if you say Simon Says, she'll repeat what you do, and I tried filming it and cutting it, but now I just use an internet. I'm giving away all my secrets now. I just use a website you can type stuff into, and it repeats the voice.
Oh, that's cool. That was like James, his Hall of Fame vote. That was actually his girlfriend doing that English accent.
Mm-hmm.
That's epic.
Yeah,
that was really good.
See, Scott, I thought you were doing the repeat one word, and I'm like, dude, it probably takes him forever to make these. Like,
oh my gosh.
Look at what Adam said. Please tag Don in it, Adam.
Yeah.
Go ahead, tag him in it.
The last time I'll be unsubbing to you real quick if you do that. I've already been on your show. I don't need to sub to you anymore. Yeah.
I can't knock on him too bad. He did build the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame website for us. Thank you again. But he didn't cast a ballot. I was like, come on, man.
Was he in a year?
Yeah, I went and looked.
Oh, well, that's lame.
I know. I was kind of sad.
I guess Bob's not even telling us when he leaves now, huh? He just leaves.
Yeah, he's just out.
I'm amazed we got him for this long, to be honest.
That's true. Before he wandered
What
off.
I should have had him come to my house, picked him up, and then he would have been forced to stay here.
That's true. He would have ate all your food, though.
He would have eaten all my food. Now, I don't know if I want to expose my family to him. My wife may never let me go out with you guys again. It was bad enough that she let Jake here.
It's true.
It was funny. That's still. What's that?
I stayed at your house.
You did. So Jake stayed at my house after the National. We ordered some pizza, and after it was pretty late. I think by the time we got back, we were tired, and so he slept on a couch in the basement. So next morning, I'm just sitting there BSing with my wife, and she's like, "You better go check on him. Like, see if he needs anything." I'm like, "Oh, he's probably still asleep." I go down there. Jake is all packed, literally just sitting on the couch like this. Like he's waiting for me. I felt bad. I was like, why didn't you come out and get us?
Dude, the one scary thing, though, that happened at Don's house when I stayed there, I thought that I broke their door and locked myself in their upstairs bathroom. I was like panicking. Like I thought I broke the door. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I broke Don's door. I can't get out. Like they may still be asleep. Like this is not good.
What'd you do? Lock yourself in there or what?
You told me something was wrong with the door after I got out. Like,
oh, you were in the upstairs bathroom.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that doorknob's all messed up.
I thought I broke their doorknob off, and I'm like, I'm stuck in here.
Well, that would have been a story.
That would have been bad. Climbing out Don's window or something.
That would have been a far fall too. I'm glad you could make it, Bob.
Okay, you're right, Adam. It's okay. I know you're like podcast guy, so I counted it because it was a video on there, but it was sports related. So vote next year. And thank you, Lou. Appreciate that.
We're just gonna sit here and listen to Bob's house.
Well, the wife just called and said she's on her way home, but she has to make a couple stops. Walgreens, which I said, hey, why don't you swing past the card aisle and let me know what they got? Sometimes they surprise me. I found what did I find there? They had
Cereal.
they had Bowman 2022 makeup boxes, and they had Topps Chrome blaster boxes. I was like, man, it's been a while since I bought mega box is like $50 now, $49.99. Blasters like $34.99. I remember the days when they were $19.99.
Back in my day. Adam, I'm keeping this up on the screen the rest of the show. I'm not putting anyone else's chat up there. I'm just gonna leave that one right there. Whole show.
I think that's a Splendid Sports Cards. That sounds like a fake channel. Is that like your wife upstairs just promoting?
Maybe.
Hey, Don, I heard there was a channel in Pittsburgh that had like a lot of followers. Maybe you should help him get to promote you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Jabs, I can point you in his direction for sure.
Not Jabs, the other dude. That John guy.
Or John, yep. John is there.
I'm going to do what Jake said someone else did. Next year, I'm voting for one person. I'm just going to vote for myself. That way, that's 9 less votes against me.
I didn't say it.
You know how happy I was when I heard that you made the statement, next year I will not be watching the whole video. like, just come out and say it, man, because I didn't think you was doing it anyways. But the fact that you did do it, and I know you're an honest man, and you were watching it, I'm like, and we had like the most, was this the most participation this year? Or yeah. And I saw some of them were like 20, 22 minutes to get
Yeah, I made mine way too long. Sorry, Jake.
Big Scotch was 33 minutes long.
You appreciate somebody talking about why they voted for who they voted for. I appreciate that, but the fact that you had to watch 30 minutes or however, if you had to watch more than 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes to get 5 to 10 names, oh. Smart move on you. Smart move.
Don't get me wrong. I appreciated both the short videos because okay, I got this one documented, but I also enjoyed the ones that were longer of this is why I voted for these channels. This is why I like them. But, after I did it this year, I'm like, if this grows any more, there's no way I can do it. I barely did it as fast as I did this year. I'm not kidding. Someone made the comment, nobody should be losing sleep over this. And I'm like, just me, because I'm staying up watching all these videos.
Literally.
I was surprised how fast you got the results out. That was pretty impressive.
What time did you come to bed last night, Jake? I was up till 3 counting YouTube Hall of Fame votes.
That's real. That's so real. And what Don said, I don't want to skim over it because, the people that with the torches and pitchforks aren't going to watch this video. But first time ever this year, I didn't say it in the announcement video because I just wasn't going to. Someone voted for themselves this year.
Oh, nice.
First time. Someone voted for themselves.
I did
Because there
see
was
that.
no rule that can't be a thing, right?
No, I mean you can, and I mean there's nothing stopping you. It was just like, come on, man.
Now I got to go look at the spreadsheet to see who it was.
Come on, Snoop.
Well, that's where I got the idea. So, but at least my video will be short next year. I vote for me.
Vote for me. See ya.
20
I'm
seconds. I'm done.
First
I'm
ballot.
my vote. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, mic drop.
Snoop's just gonna yell at me for 40 minutes. I'm gonna be crying by the end of it.
When you give me a rant.
Snoop's not known to yell, is he? He's not known to like have a strong opinion about something.
Figures,
Right?
Snoop.
All I know about Snoop's is he's got a bass boat. That's all I know.
30 foot.
What's
30
funny is
foot.
I saw Mike Canadian Cards video before I ever saw Snoop's, and I was kind of new to the community. I was like, "What the hell is this?" Like all these guys going off. I had no clue what this video was about. Like this is the dumbest video I've ever seen. Bob's gonna drop her. That poor kid.
Oh no, we do that all the time.
Jimmy Guns.
Oh,
Can't
you
believe we stepped
walking the dog in the house?
Yeah. Can I walk her outside?
No, you cannot walk the dog outside. She will drag you around the neighborhood.
Mandatory.
She says you're a smart girl.
Yeah, so I can do this.
I'm not gonna make a mandatory, but it was useful for people to find channels, including me.
I like what the card hobbyist did. He did a short nomination video, and then like a few days later, he did a bigger video describing why he voted for who.
No, nice. That's pretty good.
I've got to watch that. Then I'll watch later.
Stove's video is probably my favorite, just because he's pulling out like the archival clips of channels that like they the
funny.
most random like Bronco 79 Steve talking about like the mosquitoes and it was just so funny. I mean, it was so funny that it left such a great impression that I can't remember any of the other things. But
What was the channel you just mentioned, Scott?
Card hobbyist.
So I'm guessing he voted for you, and you just want us to go back and watch that part.
Right.
Just
I only
be
watch
clear.
the videos where people vote for me.
Right.
Did any of you guys watch Dustin and Blake's video of Darren's ballot?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I laughed so hard at that. It was perfect after I'd watched like 130 ballot videos, and then I watched that. It was hilarious.
I forgot that he had done that last year.
That was great.
Doesn't he do that every year as Darren vote?
Yeah. This is the second year of it. It's hilarious.
kids, go! What? Why do you want your dad?
Oh, look what Jimmy said.
What he said?
That was the only thing I hesitated about putting that in the spreadsheet. I'm like, man, I don't want to like make it seem like I'm calling somebody out because they changed their vote.
Well, like
I
Pepino
changed it one year just because.
Pepino was outright with it when he said, "I'm not voting for so and so because like from the videos he saw there, that channel was pretty much a guarantee to get in. Let me give another person a chance." But then I watched Egg's video and he's like, "Well, I voted for these people last year and they're still not in. How can I just not vote for them this year?" You know, so I sort of subscribe to that mindset of like, until those folks are in. Now, I did look down through Bald Rhino. I love the guy's channel. I just love his personality and his approach to the whole thing. But he hasn't made a video in 4 months. So, but who am I to like hold that against somebody? But I only saw the one tick mark by his name on the spreadsheet. So I'm like, that's me. And he'll probably just keep getting one vote from Bob Lewis every year.
I'll tally it either way, man. I just count the votes.
That's it.
There's
I
a
say-
couple of people I wanted to vote for, especially over Scott, but they just weren't making videos. Like they get on live chats a lot, and I see them there. I mean, I guess that counts for something, participating in the community. But I was like, man, you never make a video.
Who, me?
No,
I know
I
who
wouldn't have
you're
voted for you.
I was already in,
Um,
thankfully.
that's true.
Dude,
You were
I
in
would
before.
not be able to get in now.
I lucked out my first year. I got in before the Jake rule, so I got the vote. I was only 2 months in, I think. So,
The one thing I like about watching all the videos is like I get to hear everybody else's like process and kind of get a pulse for it because I don't cast a ballot, so I don't work through all that myself. So it's
Yes,
cool to
we've
see how
heard.
different people do it differently.
what, Scott?
Yeah, we've heard. Jake doesn't cast a ballot.
Nope, no ballot.
So he says.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
like a name on there I've never heard of. It's like
I never actually did total up the votes and the names and like the total, like there's one missing for certain channels. That could be Jake's, blind ballot.
Mm.
We should look into this.
Someone did accuse me of that in the comments that there was a pattern that I missed a ballot.
Well, they must
Oh, I
not know
saw
you.
that. Like,
I don't know anybody in the community with more integrity than Jake. So, and
Thanks.
that's including
meanwhile,
me.
the guys votes. All three guys weren't even close to winning, so it's not like it affected anything. It's like,
Well, this goes back to like what we were talking about earlier, like if the big channels, because that was always the gripe early, like in the first couple years, like how are these big channels not getting in? Because they didn't. I mean, all they would have to do is put one video out saying, "Hey, this is going on. Do this to vote for me," and and you'd be in. But that doesn't happen because they're not. Maybe they don't feel like they want to be a part of it all. I don't know. I'm not going to try to pretend I understand why somebody else thinks about it or how they think about the YouTube sports card community. I know what it means to me, and that's all I really care about.
that's all I
It
care
means a
about.
lot.
That means something to Bob.
It means everything. It will probably be mentioned at my funeral. I mean, let's just say that.
On the tombstone?
On the tombstone. There'll be a picture of the.
I'm open to it. I'm open to it.
The patch. Just
Definitely part of the eulogy for sure, though. Dust
You're
to
going to be
dust,
buried with the patch, right?
absolutely.
I saw that comment too, Jimmy. I'm like, I just count them, man. Like, I'm sorry, got two. Like,
Yeah. Anyways.
I just voted for Jimmy so he didn't kick my ass.
that's a good call.
Be on his good
Good
side.
call. At some point, I may have to put him in just because of that. I don't want to run into him at a national.
No.
I've run into Jimmy. It's sort of like, are you familiar with a brick wall?
Mm,
Kind of like that.
I expected it to be like that. Yeah.
Is it like driving your car in a
Brick wall
telephone
that
pole?
Pushes back.
I bet it is.
Exactly what it's like, Scott.
Oh no.
What is he doing now?
I
She
checked
thinks-
twice,
she
Vince.
thinks
He
the dog
didn't.
food
He
is-
didn't.
is fruit snacks. Have you ever seen
This
a
may
brown
be the
fruit snack?
ultimate live chat about nothing. We've talked for over an hour about absolutely nothing.
Well, welcome to a live stream with me.
Yeah, I showed a card earlier, so this counts as a baseball card video, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
You showed a card? Was that not on screen?
No.
I don't know. You're
you wandered
running around
off.
somewhere. Here, I got sent this in the mail, Bob. You have this?
Oh, is
I
that
can't get a good view of it.
nice?
Is that a former pirate? I
There's
can't tell.
Bowman.
It's definitely
Yeah,
a
it's
former
Austin
pirate.
Meadows.
It is a former pirate.
Is that just the base? Looked like a black border.
I don't know. It does. It's modern. I don't know modern. Trying to do it without the view. Here's the back helper.
I'll have to check. I'll have to check that. That's. I know he was in that group, like the top 100 prospects, a couple of years. I think I have a.
Yeah.
I think I have him. Yeah, there you go.
All right, fine. I'm not gonna send it to you then.
Wait.
The hell with it. Who was that, Scott? Was that Don Mossy?
Mossy, but that's what year is that?
55.
Is that real or is that?
Yeah, that's real.
Did he have a card
that's-
in the 55 moment?
Yep, that's his rookie card.
So he did.
Really?
Wow. Because I thought I had the Tops run. I just finished the Tops run. My buddy of mine sent me the 63, which was the last one I needed. But now I got to go get that. It's okay.
So what you two are saying is I'm your second favorite Don. Or am I ahead of Don Mossy in the ranking?
Well, I'll let Scott answer that.
That's a veteran move.
I know
I
your
like
favorite,
Don
but I
Mossy.
don't have a card.
There you go.
Understood. What you smelling there, Bob?
Is that a monitor? A baby monitor? Okay.
I see my 6-year-old climbing in the baby's crib, and that can only mean bad things.
Oh.
Okay, I'm done with that. I really got to pee, guys. So,
All right. Well, you know what, guys? Why don't we've been on here for an hour. Bob's got to pee.
yeah, that's the most. That's usually the
Scott's
most
gotta
people
pee.
can put up with me.
So, all right, guys. Look, I appreciate y'all being on. Appreciate everyone in the chat. It was fun. Talk to y'all soon.
Thanks, Don.
Later, guys.
See you guys.
So yeah.